this cop, like, actually left both of these disabled people stranded or whatever. Or whatnot. Real though, because he said that, like, the insurance, like, didn't, like, go through or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? For real though. I mean, like, that stuff was crazy as ever. And I'm glad the lady called her sister so she could, like, pick both of them up. This lady was like, veteran or whatever, whatnot. She used to go, like, to wars and stuff like that, like, do the war and all that stuff. For real though. And she had her husband with her. Her husband, like, was an amputee or whatever, whatnot. Now I'm saying his leg was, like, amputated. He didn't have no other toe. He didn't have no toes on his foot, on his other foot, or whatever, whatnot. So he couldn't walk whatsoever. Real though. So I'm glad that, like, she got her sister to go and pick them up, or whatever, whatnot. Real though. Yeah, that was crazy as ever why that cop did that. Real though. Because, like, he, like, had the tow to come and, like, tow their car away because of that or whatever, whatnot. For real though, that's some crazy stuff. Now these three brothers, like, actually, like, stopped the gunman from, like, going on a murder spree. He actually killed, like, two people. He killed his ex-wife and he killed her new husband up in the grocery store or whatever, whatnot. And I'm glad that, like, stuff that, like, more stuff than occurred, because he was, like, trying to go on a murder spree and try to hurt a lot of people. I don't know how many people he would have killed if, like, these brothers didn't step in or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad they did or whatever, whatnot. One, like, ran up to him, took the gun out of his hand or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And the other one, like, just, like, smacked him up or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a whole bunch of people there. They protected everybody. For real. I'm glad they did that. For real. But then they tried to, like, flip it on them or whatever, whatnot. For real though. For real though. So they obviously, like, try to, like, find a reason to charge these brothers or whatever, whatnot. And no, they should not do that. For real though, because, like, they stopped the gunman that was actually trying to, like, harm people and stuff like that. So no, they shouldn't even do it. For real though. Anyway, I don't know where the third brother come in at, but hey, I'm just glad that, like, they didn't try to charge these dudes. For real though, because they did something good or whatever, whatnot. For real though. Anyway, this teacher lost his goddamn mind for, like, body slamming this 12-year-old, and then he took off his belt and started beating his ass or whatever, whatnot, for no motherfucking reason or whatsoever. And then they, like, his friends got, like, that, like, other teachers and stuff to help him out or whatever. So they took the boy up in the, like, principal office. He went to the principal office, trying to get into the door or whatever. So they put him into the other principal office or whatever, whatnot, so he could be safe. And this motherfucker came out, like, tried to, like, go ahead and go after this boy or whatever. He went after this boy mother. For real though. So she was just, like, driving or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Try to, like, get some, like, try to, like, get the information out about this motherfucker dude or whatever, whatnot. For real though. This dude, like, saw her when she was up there driving. He walked up to her car, pulled out a blink and started blinking at her. But she drove away before he started blinking at her. For real though. I'm glad she got away. For real though. And they still didn't like this dude up. They still didn't like him up whatsoever. For real though. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy as ever. I'm for real, gang. That shit is crazy. Anyway, so now they, like, took a long time for that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit, something else. or whatever whatnot. Random. Anyway, so you remember the plumber I was telling you about, right? He actually like found a lawyer or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? He like actually just like told they was discussing on what was going on or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? About the people stealing this property or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And I like actually like found out that this bitch did fraud and signed the papers to to the company that they used to run and used to have the property or whatever whatnot. For real though, before her and her husband end up in a plane crash or whatever whatnot. For real though. And shit, this dude and his lawyer is doing do some good shit right after he win this case and get his property back or whatever whatnot. For real though. And they came up with this name called Endgame, so they could help all the other farmers that went through that situation, the same situation that he did or whatever whatnot. And that's some good shit. That's some good shit. Plus he had been get together or whatever whatnot. You know what I'm saying? On the 23rd of May. And shit, he not charging nobody nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could go there, eat the food for free and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna have the animals out there and all that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good as ever. You know what I'm saying? For real though. Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's some cool shit. That's some cool shit. For real though. Anyway, this cop actually just was arrested 5 times. 5 fucking times. For real though. Anyway, he shot this man right all up in his back or whatever whatnot. For real though. Man said he had a gun license or whatever whatnot, but he never pulled it. He never pulled it out or nothing like that. That's it. He had a brown paper bag in his hand, but he never had no gun in the paper bag or nothing. I think it was a boot or something. For real though, this cop pulled out his taser and he pulled out his blick. And next thing you know, he just blicked the man down for no goddamn reason. Dude didn't even post a threat or nothing. Anyway, this cop like to get it high and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? And they still up there go give them a $600,000 bond. For real though. And that shit crazy. That shit is crazy as hell. They want to keep that motherfucker up on the street. Although all the shit that he fucking did and all that shit, that shit crazy. Oh my goodness. It was crazy as hell. Real though, I'm god damn. I'm shit. These motherfuckers, oh my goodness, they crazy as hell. Real though. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just hell no. Real though. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just glad that everything is working out for that dude or whatever whatnot. Real though. And this lady went to the spot where these other sisters was up there you know what I'm saying, working out or whatever whatnot. And she tried to complain. She up there acting like she owned the park and all this shit. And then she actually said she was going she wanted her to call the law on them or whatever whatnot. For real though. And they started roasting her ass. You know what I'm saying? For real though. I mean hell no, because they was there for 2 hours and this lady just went up there and started try to crash out and all that shit. No, she didn't throw no fist or nothing like that. She was just talking major shit. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? For real though. And that shit was crazy as hell. I mean, I'm telling you, man, that shit something else. For real though. They minded their goddamn business and she just went over there and started talking shit. I'm hell no. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just up there chilling now. I'm just chilling or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Went to class and all that shit. Got back home. You know what I'm saying? Tired as motherfucker. I went to sleep. Real though, that's what I did, and that was on bro. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, hit the bell notification so you can see my next upload and my next post, and make sure I make a number tomorrow. And oh yeah, you can check out my previous videos if you like, gang. So long, farewell, goodbye.